as we head into this Vegas game is exactly what Ben Johnson told everybody it was going to be. Hey, from week 1 to week 2, there has to be a ton of growth, but it may not be perfect operation. From week 2 to week 3, we need an even bigger leap, and I think you saw that today offensively, and you got to give credit to the defense where credit is due. This is a Dallas team that put up points, and so seeing a defense come out and respond, Jim, after giving up 52 points in a game, I was proud today to say that was a Chicago Bears defense on the field.
Yeah, you talk about this team cleaning it up a lot more with the penalties. Only 6 penalties today for 41 yards. Let's talk about this offense, specifically Caleb Williams. Jim, what did you like the most?
Yeah, I thought early taking advantage of the turnover. Stevenson gets the punch out right away. They score with Roma Doomsday.
How did that set the tone, by the way, for this game when Tyreek Stevenson ripped it out of Javonte Williams?
Yeah, that was perfect. I mean, that's what you want to do to a high-powered offense, turn them over. Because Dallas, to me, has to be perfect offensively. Their defense is not that good, as everybody saw. I mean, even the Giants last week put up 37 points, and it went to overtime, and Dallas was able to pull it out. So Stevenson getting the punch out early. The Bears take advantage. They get the early score. And Pat's right. Look at that second quarter. The first drive in the second quarter ended with a Darnell Wright holding call. So that one, the Bears have to punt. The second one, he has an illegal man downfield. Bears overcome it. They get the big screen pass to Swift. They go in and score. And then they have the second opportunity, or the third opportunity, right before the half. They managed it brilliantly. They get the ball back. They bring it down there. Boom, play action pass to Cole Kmet. They get points going in at halftime. Then they come out the second half and dominate the third quarter. Okay, misdirection, the run plays, that's what you do against the Tampa 2 defense against Matt Eberflus. It's a speedy defense. So get them flowing one way, run it the other. A lot of misdirection. They execute it beautifully, and they go down. They run off 9 minutes and 30 seconds of the third quarter and end with a score. It was absolutely beautiful from the latter part of the second quarter to the third quarter, all the way through to take control of the game. And it was the Bears' offense that did it, not their defense. Their defense cleaned it up at the end.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that hits the nail on the head. And I think, when you talk about a response, we bring up the Tyreek Stevenson play. Listen, that's after a big run as well, right? That wasn't like, we were really stopping Javonte Williams early on. You needed something that was going to put the Dallas defense kind of on its back foot. And I thought that Tyreek Stevenson, with that early takeaway, really did that. And what it did, it opened up the opportunity. Now, okay, we had this first drive where we got to get ourselves back together. Now let's lock in. Let's go down here. And you were able to put up points. And you were able to put up points in a very Ben Johnson way. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing. This is the first game. We talk about a lot of firsts here, Tina. Like, this was the first game that looked like Ben Johnson. This looked like a Ben Johnson offense. How comfortable Caleb Williams was. He didn't do too much in this game. There wasn't a lot of him using his legs to create a sidearm pass that goes for 40 yards. A lot of the Superman plays that they've talked about Caleb needing to have to be successful and not being able to play in structure. He played Ben Johnson's system to perfection, and you have to be able to capitalize when you get those turnovers. I thought we saw a team that played some great complementary football today.
We saw more of what Ben Johnson wants this offense to look like. Jim, let's talk about Ben going into his bag of tricks, the flea flicker play there. Was it botched in the beginning, though? Break that down for us.
It was. The running back obviously laid a looper back there. It needs to be more of a straight line shot back to the quarterback with the lateral. And that's very nerve-wracking as a quarterback because the ball's hanging up there, and your receiver, especially Burden, he's blowing down the field because that guy can run it, and you wonder if you can get it out there in time. Caleb's got a big enough arm to do it. They even announced it on the broadcast. It was a 65-yard throw, but it is nerve-wracking because the timing wasn't particularly right. But I give Caleb a lot of credit. You can't panic. You can't, you just got to be oblivious to everything else around you, and you have to execute the play. And the pocket was good enough for him to deliver a strike, and he did it. And Pat touched on it. I loved what I saw from Caleb in the huddle today. Yeah. He was direct. He's using his hand motions saying, hey, guys, we're running this play now. And it wasn't the only play call that was a trick play. They lined up DJ Moore in the backfield. They ran end arounds. They ran reverses, again, to take advantage of a fast-flowing defense and get them flowing one way to hit them with a lot of misdirection. And you could see Caleb in the huddle really emphatic about the play calls. He was into it. There was a sense of urgency. Yeah. It was important to him, and he was locked in. I give him a lot of credit, and what a great day for Caleb Williams. He needed that. He needed a little bit of pressure off of his back, but I love that he took control today, because that's what you need to do as a quarterback.
Pat, I want to talk to you about the rookies. We saw them get a lot more involved today. Colston Loveland was targeted early on. Nguyen, they involved him 3 straight times. And Luther Burden a touchdown as well. What did you see from the Rooks today?
Listen, I want Cam Scatterbo love for Kyle Nguyen. Yes, he did go backwards 8 yards on that play, Jim, but he was knocking guys out on the way there. And I think, to be honest with you, I know, that's kind of the play that Tom Brady kind of locked in on. He's like, you can't make that mistake. But to be honest, I think that's what we saw on all the other runs. A young running back who was unwilling to give up on the play, and I loved what we saw there. I thought the involvement of Luther Burden. Listen, there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. Ben Johnson said, that's what keeps me up at night. How do I get everybody involved in the game plan? Yes, one of the plays is a trick play to Luther Burden on the flea flicker. But you know what? We've been here with the flea flicker before. Remember Mitch Trubisky to Javon Wims? It didn't work. This was a play where this young player, hey, these are the shots you're going to get right now. You have to be ready for these plays. I give Luther Burden all the credit on that. Caleb Williams, of course, being able to lock in and get that ball to him, but give him all the credit on being ready when his number was called. That's what Ben Johnson is asking these guys to do. And I think that above all else really shows you the confidence that Ben is building in these young players. He challenged them this week. Remember, the competition comments that he made, hey, we're going to have a lot more competition in practice this week.
Challenging some of his starters,
We're off of the rookie question about the rookies not being involved enough in the game plan. He challenged them. They get more involved in the game plan this week. And I think that's just going to continue to build. But just like what we've seen in this offense through the first 3 weeks, that trust with Ben has to build throughout the season. You keep making plays like that. If you're Luther Burden or you're Kyle Nguyen guy, guess what? I'm going to give you more opportunity, and you saw that in this game as well.
Jim, how good did it just feel to see this team clean it up more? Because the penalties, the first game, 12 penalties for 127 yards. Last week against Detroit, 8 penalties for 50 yards. And today, 6 penalties for 41 yards. They cleaned it up a lot more.
Much better. And I agree with Pat. I think Loveland would have played more, too, if he didn't hurt his shoulder early in the first half. And I think, for Ben Johnson, you see that they have explosive players. From DJ Moore. Their skill position players for the Bears are very good. Their backfield, a lot of people probably wouldn't put their running backfield up there and say the top 10 of the NFL, but they're more than serviceable enough. I liked what I saw from Nguyen today. He runs angry and can get some tough yardage, and I think he will carve out a bigger role for the Chicago Bears. He's more the bruiser, like Montgomery there for Detroit, and Swift is more the edge guy, like Jahmyr Gibbs. They're not as good as them, but they're more than serviceable to get it done. So I think big plays, this is a good confidence builder for this young offense, and there's a lot of room to grow. Again, defense isn't the only way to control a game. Today, it's the Bears' offense that controlled the game. The defense really cleaned it up, and they put the pressure on Dallas's offense to be perfect, and it resulted in 4 turnovers. Because Dallas, once they got behind, there were 3 turnovers the second half. They couldn't do it. Yeah. They weren't perfect, and that's a veteran offense that was making mistakes, not the Bears.
Want to remind everyone that is watching, if you want to join in on our conversation, be sure to leave a comment in the YouTube section and also hashtag after the whistle. Jim, I'm curious, from just a former quarterback's perspective, how much does early success off of play action like we saw today really open things up for this offense, especially when we see them kind of shift gears and lean on the running game a lot in the second half?
Yeah, I think it's big. Again, the flea flicker got the party started. It's off the run where they do the play action pass. It led to the touchdown by Cole Kmet. If you look at that play, that is a play action pass. That was to Cole Kmet on that play. It set up a couple RPO runs by Caleb Williams in the second half as well. They moved DJ Moore out of the backfield, a couple of fakes to him. They're running end arounds to Zacchaeus and other guys. So it set up a lot of things, and their play action pass was tremendous today. They got a lot of yardage out of it, and especially how it set up the running game in the third quarter. The Bears ran the ball 11 straight times in the third quarter, and Dallas could not stop it because it was misdirection every single time, and Dallas didn't know who was getting the ball. It's Nguyen, it's Swift, it's DJ Moore. Oh, it's an end around to Zacchaeus. There were all these different ball carriers, and Dallas is looking up like, who's lining up where? They couldn't line up and really get their defensive calls in what they needed to do because Ben Johnson was very creative in the play calling. He kept Dallas really off guard from that standpoint, and give the Bears credit. That third quarter was managed as good as anything this offense has ever done in quite some time. That's a hell of a drive for 9 minutes and 30 seconds coming out of the half.
So, Pat, week 1 going into the season, we know absolutely nothing. Week 2, we're learning more and more. But here, week 3, we can put it all together a little bit more. Yeah. What else did you learn about this team today, specifically the offense?
Yeah, I think what we learned, if nothing else, the biggest thing, this offense works with these players with clean operation. That's the most important thing that you have to take away from it. I think, when you're talking about going out there versus the storyline coming in was this is a Dallas defense that, yes, it's struggling a little bit, but they know everything that Caleb Williams' tendencies are because Matt Eberflus was here coaching with them. He understands who Caleb is, how Caleb's going to move, how Caleb's going to attack. But he didn't change who he was, and the Bears were able to take advantage of that. Caleb Williams was able to take advantage of that. And I think this offense as a whole, the operation, that's the one thing that Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen have continued to preach. Clean operation. We're seeing some good football out there. There's just too many mistakes stopping us from taking advantage of it on a consistent basis. If you continue to have that clean operation, this is a football team that you have an opportunity to be at the bye 2-2. Yeah. That's not something we felt like we were going to be saying coming out of a 52-21 loss to the Detroit Lions. Like that's a big step in the right direction.
This is one way.
You mentioned it. Other than that second quarter with the 2 Darnell Wright penalties, the Bears stayed on schedule. Yeah. They were 67% on third down conversions. Yeah. That's staying on schedule. That's logging plays. That's time of possession. All these things add up. If you stay on schedule, especially with a young quarterback, you're going to be just fine. And that's why they were just fine today.
Yeah. This is one way to respond after that tough loss to Detroit. All right, Bears pick up their first win of this season. They beat the Cowboys 31-14. We need to take a break because when we come back, we're going to talk about this Bears defense. And then we've also got a fun segment of yes, no, maybe so. And then later on, you'll hear from head coach Ben Johnson as well. Keep it right here on Fox 32 Chicago after the whistle. Here on Fox 32 Chicago. Bears pick up their first win of the season. They defeat the Cowboys 31-14. Let's listen in on Kmet in the locker room.
mean, for you guys in here, but just kind of for everybody's attitude?
Well, they're very bipolar here, so I'm sure they're very happy, and they're probably on the higher end of the things than maybe they should be. So we're gonna stay right here. That's where I'm gonna be all year long. That's what I'm gonna do my best to do, and regardless if it's after a loss or after a game like this, staying even keel the whole time. And I'm looking forward to getting to look at the tape tomorrow and correcting where things need to get better, and moving on from there.
Well, Ben made a proclamation that he wanted to get the tight end to work. He said that was on him.
Yeah.
He kind of right away from the jump, the first play to pull.
Yeah.
How did that happen today?
Yeah. Well, I was just mentioning, I thought they schemed up some really good stuff conceptually. Even not just for the tight ends, but you look at Luther's play, Colson's play down the sideline, my play in the end zone, Rome's play there. Just really well schemed up plays against that type of defense, and did a good job of that. And Caleb did a good job of distributing the football all over. So that was really good to see.
And what did you think of Caleb? I think this is the first game of his career he wasn't sacked a single time.
Well, that's good.
They
Keep him playing. Yeah, good.
But it just felt like start to finish productive. The big shots, but also some of the checkdowns and things like that.
Yeah, I think we all felt really good, kind of having the first really normal week of a full plan going, and kind of having that true Monday through Sunday morning prep was really beneficial for us, and I thought we came out and executed the game plan pretty well.
This seems like a game that the Bears were envisioning when they drafted Caleb and then when they hired Ben. How do you keep this going?
I think it always starts at practice. I think it starts when you look at the film and be honest about the mistakes that we had in this game and taking those head on. So. We'll look at it from there, and regardless of win or loss, when you come back in on Monday, you gotta look at the tape for what it is and get better from it. So just continue to get better each and every week, and that's gonna be our main focus.
All right, back here on After the Whistle, Tina Nguyen, Pat the designer, Jim Miller here with you. Jim, I have to ask you, were you even keel back in the day? You strike me as a very even keel guy.
I was a flatliner, Tina. The ice water was running through my veins. You can't get too high or too low.
What do you make of Cole Kmet's comment? Pat, I'll start with you.
Listen, I love it, and I think it's literally what Jim said, right? If you follow the pulse of the city, listen, we're a very passionate fan base, and we want to see a winner every single week. We want to see a team that's going to go out there and put their heart and soul into a game every single week. But sometimes it's the NFL. And football is a very difficult sport to play. And I think if you follow the trends of what, the media is saying or what the fans are saying, and listen, we've seen coaches in this city do that. That is the times where you get yourself into the most trouble. I love the fact that Cole Kmet's like, yeah, great win. We're 1-2. Let's go back out here. Let's watch the tape and try and get to 2-2. And then we have the bye week. Like that even keelness. And you have to understand, he's been through this before. We were 4-2 last season. We finished the season with 5 wins. Like, this is a team that understands the win right now doesn't mean that you're going to the Super Bowl after that. And I think that is why you're seeing a very even keel team after this win.
I do want to mention this to you guys, and we talked about this before the show. Caleb Williams today, let me pull up his stat line real quick. 19 of 28, 298 yards, 4 touchdowns. The Wiener Circle tweeted earlier this week, if Caleb throws 4 touchdowns on Sunday, we will give away free hot dogs on Tuesday. So we'll all be in line for free hot dogs at some point.
I will, in fact, be in line for free hot dogs for sure.
That's one way to motivate people. Free food.
Is that what got it done? Is that the bottom line? Just a hot dog?
Free food. Let's talk about this defense. And Jim, I'll start with you because this defense, I know 3 games into the season, so early, but they came into this game banged up. What do you make of how they performed?
Yeah, I really thought guys were flying around. Obviously, the big hit on CeeDee Lamb, that altered the Dallas Cowboys game plan. I just think Bayard laid some big hits in there. They used Brisker as a blitzer. We've talked about that. Think about the big sack it was a Mike Sam cross dog blitz. Dennis Allen had a lot of different looks. He would show a lot of guys. Tom Brady pointed it out in the broadcast. He would show up a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. Then at the snap of the ball, he would drop into coverage. And Dak kind of got confused. He was just taking the check down to his tight end, uncertain what Dennis Allen was doing defensively. So I thought, being without Jalen Johnson, they tried to pick on Nashawn Wright early. And then CeeDee Lamb was out of the game, and that ended up not being an option for them. They went back to George Pickens, and then he had the big turnover late in the game.
Yeah.
So I thought, really Dennis Allen really kept them off guard. Dallas is a powerful offense, but Dennis Allen, they got the key stops when they needed, in my opinion. Then I thought it was big by Torrey Taylor. The second to the last drive, I believe it was, he pins Dallas down inside the 5-yard line, makes Dallas earn it. 16 plays, Dallas goes on a march. And what does it end in? A Byard interception.
Yeah.
So Dennis Allen made Dallas earn it the entire time. And even then, they turned Dallas away. So excellent job overall by Dennis Allen.
Pat, you mentioned earlier in the show, a lot of first-year Montez Sweat got his first sack of the season, first sack since December 26th of last year. 4 total takeaways, I believe, from this defense. What do you make of how they performed, especially N'Shawn Wright?
Listen, I mean, I think that you have a defense that is hungry to want to continue to get better. And you saw that start to take shape today. And I think you mentioned N'Shawn Wright. He was eager to get to this game.
Against his former team.
Against his former team. He was in the locker room, got a chance to talk with him, and he was eager. He didn't get the interception he was looking for against Dak, but he was eager to get out there and play against Dak because of understanding the tendencies. And I think you saw some of, what Dennis Allen is looking for as far as pressure up front. I can't say that they're fully there. 2 sacks on the day. We're still looking for a little bit more pressure from that front 4. As much as we want to talk about this defense being banged up, this is the front 4 that Ryan Poles went out and invested in. But I love how Jim brought it out. You can make it so much easier on this defense if you go out there and you put up points. You saw a defense in the second half that I thought absolutely was like, bet, our offense has given us enough to work with. Now we can pin our ears back. Now we can force ourselves into the face of Dak Prescott. Now we can go out there and try and put Dak in some difficult positions that lead to takeaways. You gave the defense an opportunity to be on their front foot for the first time. I think that we've said that probably since we were looking at it in the break, since Jacksonville of last year, probably, Jim. Like if we're being honest,
before the
defense
I don't ever remember playing with a lead like that. I don't ever remember playing with a lead like that. With the way they played offensively the past 5 years, that was really a great ball game by them.
Comfortable, no doubt about that. All right, let's play. Let's do our segment. Yes, no, maybe so.
Let's do it.
All right. So first question: we saw obviously improvements from Caleb Williams week 1, week 2, week 3. Now, will he surpass 3,541 passing yards from last season? Pat, I'll start with you.
I think you got to go yes. I mean, listen, he's even with some of the struggles that you had through the first 2 weeks, yardage wise, he's been fine. Yeah. And fine enough to pass up what he did last season. And in week 3 now, you're starting to see a comfortable Caleb Williams. I think that can be a dangerous Caleb Williams.
Jim, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes, no,
I'm
maybe
say
so?
Absolutely, yes,
Okay.
he will. Yes.
All right, next one. Bears allowed the most points in the NFL through 2 weeks. Last year, they were 13th in the league in points allowed. Will they end up 13th or better this year? Yes, no, maybe so. I am going yes. Pat, you're going.
I still got to sit with no right now. Only reason I say that is because we're still not seeing that pressure up front. If this is the offense we have every week, then it's a resounding yes. I got to see that this is the offense we're going to have every week because you got some very, very difficult defenses to play that are a lot better than what Dallas showed today.
Jim?
I will say no. They don't have key components in there. Jalen Johnson, no Kyler Gordon. You just wonder, it's a matter of if Brisker can stay healthy. So to me, it's the secondary. I don't know if the secondary is where it needs to be right now.
All right, next one. Bears were tied for 3rd most penalties in the NFL through 2 weeks. They cleaned it up this week, as we discussed.
Yeah.
Will they be among the top 5 in penalties at the end of this season? Ooh.
This is a tough one
we saw improvements today, so that was encouraging, but
I'm still going to say yes.
okay,
I'm still going to say yes. And it's
I'm gonna
just,
go maybe so.
Listen, like, well, you know what? That is an option. I'm going to go maybe so. You know what I mean? If we don't have to be definitive on this, I'm going to go maybe so because I do think it's listen, a great week this week. You hope that it continues to get better. But Ben Johnson said it. The NFL is not an airplane and you just continue to take off. There's ups, there's downs, and some of those down weeks may be some tough penalty weeks.
Jim?
Yeah, there's ebbs and flows, but I'm going to say no because the standard's been set today. They can go through a game and not kill themselves with penalties. And Ben Johnson's going to stress that. Hey, guys, look, you just did it. Look at the penalties. Look how they're down. Look how they helped us with the hidden yardage in the yardage that we didn't lose. So it's on record. That's the standard, and he's going to hold these guys to it every week. And not that they're going to surpass that. I don't think they'll be the top 5 in penalties. So I'm going to say that they'll be better than what they were a season ago. The coach will demand it.
All right, so next week the Bears head to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Will the Bears win next week against a very struggling Raiders team?
You said that with a little bit of felt like a little personal insight on that. I am going to say yes. You know what? I'll be honest with you, and I know it's been an up and down battle out there as well. But Ashton Genty's the big difference maker, and based off of what we saw from the Bears today with how they handled Javonte Williams, not to say you stopped him completely, but I think you contained him really well. If I'm more so worried about Ashton Genty being the difference maker and them winning or losing, I feel like you can go the Bears do get a win in that situation.
Okay, Jim?
Yes, they should get a win. The Bears have the better offense all the way around. And I think it could be a high-scoring game if they take advantage of another aggressive defense that Pete Carroll's bringing to the table. So I'm going to say yes.
Get a win and hopefully go into the bye week 2-2. All right, last one. Will the Bears finish with 7 or more wins this season? Vegas set the over-under this year at 8.5, same as last year. What do you think?
I've consistently been at yes. I don't think that playoffs are in our future. No team has come back from an 0-2 loss in the division and made the playoffs. I don't think that the Bears are going on this miracle run as of yet. Would love to see a 15-2 to finish out the season and we're in the playoffs and we win the division. But I'm going to say they do finish above 7 wins because I had them picked at 9. I had them picked at 9 with the struggles coming into the season anyway. I still got them picked at 9.
All right, Jim?
Yes, they will be above 7 wins. I've got them at 8 and 9 is what I think they're going to go. And if they continue to trend upward and score points, it can be an offensive team. The defense is serviceable and they get it done, but the offense has to be consistent and score points. They have to score over 24 points a game, in my opinion. I think they can do that. I really do.
8 and 9, I had them as that as well. All right, we need to take another break because when we come back, we're going to hear from Tremaine Edmunds. He had not 1, but 2 interceptions on the day. Keep it right here on After the Whistle. Bears get their first win of the season, and Tremaine Edmunds had a huge game, not one, but 2 interceptions. Cassie Carlson got the chance to catch up with him in the locker room. Let's listen.
I mean, you've now been a part of this team for a handful of years, so to come into a locker room, not only see Ben Johnson get his first win, but get the first win of the season. Describe what it was like in here to see that celebration.
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, I don't like to look in the past, but the first 2 weeks hurt, you know what I mean? And, we all just wanted to win. That's the main thing. It doesn't matter how they come. We just wanted to come in this locker room and celebrate with one another because we put a lot of time into it from the time they got here to now. I mean, it's going to be ups and it's going to be downs. We got extremely talented team, resilient team. Guys didn't flinch. Even when things wasn't going our way. And, we was able to walk away with a win today.
Ben Johnson challenged you guys this week at practice. You even said it yourself. You noticed kind of a pissed-off attitude with some of the players after last week. How did you see that channel itself throughout the week leading up to this game?
I think it was just attention to detail. Anytime you lose in that fashion, it's going to put a nasty taste in your mouth. But the thing that I respect the most about the guys in the room is nobody flinched. You know what I mean? We showed up to work, and we took that challenge to heart. Guys came out and challenged one another at practice. We put it all together just as far as intensity, attention to detail. Was it perfect? No, but it's never going to be perfect. You strive for perfection, but the key is to put your head down and keep working, no matter what nobody say. And we got to carry that into another week. Now we got to stack the wins.
Dak Prescott was putting up a bunch of yards the first 2 weeks. Defensively, what was your focus, and you specifically, to get those 2 interceptions?
Yeah, it was really just, understand they may move the ball a little bit, but the key of the game is to keep going, because that's a talented offense. Like you just said, they put up yards, and they was doing some extremely good stuff. And just understand that they may get some plays here and there, but we just got to figure out ways to be good in the red zone situational football. And I think we did good. We did a good job. And obviously, as far as getting turnovers, that's big in win and loss percentage. So I was glad we was able to put it together.
I know you're a team guy. I heard you got a team game ball. What you going to do with it? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Just the love and respect from the coaches, from the players, mean a lot. You know what I mean? The team ball really goes out to the guys around me. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that because that puts everybody in position to make plays. And like I said, just everybody playing on one accord and just figuring out a way to get the win. That's the ultimate team ball, is the win.
All right, thanks, Tremaine. Congrats.
Thank you.
That is Tremaine Edmunds there talking with Cassie Carlson. Bears, obviously, first win of the season. And we've talked through these first 2 games about how much this defense struggled. No pass rush, obviously the injuries. But today, with the way they played, especially down the stretch, how much confidence does it give this locker room, this group right now, Jim?
I think a lot. I think, again, the standard's been set. They were able to get 4 turnovers today. Typically, turnovers come in bunches, and guys start to feed off that. Who's going to be the next guy to make a play? And it becomes infectious. And again, I think their defensive playbook will start to expand. I thought Dennis did a lot of different things defensively today in what he showed. So hopefully that will continue to expand, that really they'll throw teams off a little bit with what they're doing defensively. So, I mean, those guys should feel very good. And I love just the team attitude by Tremaine Edmunds. That is a team defensive ball, and all those guys participated today.
I forgot that we've had the hype button sitting here for the last, however long we've been doing the show, and I just forget to press it. But a win, I mean, that calls for.
Oh, yeah, we're hyped. Oh, we're hyped.
The hype button to be pressed. No panic right now, although it is in my purse. No panic. It's all about the hype.
Because here's the thing, like Jim alluded to, right? This was a Dallas team that came in and was, I believe, number 1 in points per game to this point, was top 5 in scoring until this game. This was a team who you had to, top 5 in yards up to this point. This was a team that you felt like, hey, if you're going to win this game, you got to go in there and be prepared for a shootout. And they were prepared for a shootout. Dallas was, for once, the team not prepared. I think as a team defense, you have to feel so incredibly confident coming out of this game, because this was a Dallas team that was going out there and dominating. Yes, versus some defenses that maybe have some questions on them as well, but this was a defense that had a lot of major questions on it coming into this game, and they responded and showed up in a major way. So yes, Tina, I am hype.
The over-under for this game was set at 50.5. Obviously, 31-14, 45. So I was talking to some of my friends. I was like, the over just feels like it's easy money. But good day for those who took the under in that one. Speaking of betting, they obviously play Las Vegas next week. Then they've got a bye week on the road, Monday Night Football against Washington. Saints week 7, and then the Ravens for week 8. I mean, I feel like the Raiders, Saints, they should be able to get those wins, but Washington and Baltimore, I feel like, will definitely present a challenge for them.
No, 100%. Listen, you've got two really good teams, and the Commanders, even without Jaden Daniels today, Marcus Mariota going out there and operating a beautiful game plan and getting the job done. That defense found a way to get involved as well. Same with the Baltimore Ravens. We know what they bring. That is a championship caliber team that you're going to have to go in there and face. And guess what? The odds, just like in this game, are going to be stacked against you. Can you go in there and find a way to win a football game? You win one of those and you're 3-1 coming out of those 4, you're beating your chest a little bit louder than maybe you are today.
Jim, your final thoughts on the road ahead for the Bears?
Yeah, Washington and Baltimore are going to be game plans like today because they can both score points.
Yeah.
If you look at Washington last year, they were 8-0 every time they scored over 30 points last year. So they scored over 30 points today with Mariota. So those are going to have to be aggressive offensive game plans against Washington coming out of the bye. The Bears should have time to prepare for that one. And then you mentioned Baltimore, who can score a lot of points as well. Shoot, they put up 40 points on Buffalo. So they can score points, and the Bears are going to have to match those teams, be aggressive, much like they were today.
It's nice to talk about a win.
It is.
A comfortable win, too. Because the last time we were this confident was what? Again, week 6?
Yeah, week 6 versus Jacksonville. It's been so long since we've been able to say. We were sitting back, and there's still a part of me. I don't know if you were like me, Jim. There was still a part of me that was like, hey, there's time on the clock. Like, if Dallas goes down here and scores and we mess up and then they go out and they get another touchdown, like now it's a 3-point game. They're right back in this thing. But I credit to Ben Johnson, wanted to see what he was going to do coming out of the half. You mentioned that 9-minute drive. That is how you kill a team's momentum to be able to come back in a game.
Real quick, because I believe we only have maybe a minute 30 left. What are you hyped about for next week? Go.
What am I hyped about? I'm hyped about this offense continuing to move in the right direction versus a Vegas defense that's struggling.
I'm hyped about seeing Caleb Williams continuing to grow. We got to stay patient. Jim, you're hyped about?
I'm hyped about gaining about 35 pounds because it sounds like Wiener Circle every Tuesday. So let's keep it going.
Again, that is one way to motivate people. Free food. I mean, come on.
Does it have to be 4 touchdowns every week? That's probably what they'll do. They'll just make the touchdowns more and more until they don't have to give out free food. And we just need the Bears to keep meeting that goal.
I imagine that line might be a little bit long. We'll be there.
I'll be there.
We'll be there. We'll get you one, Jim. All right, that does it for us here on After the Whistle on Fox 32 Chicago. Be sure to tune in every single Sunday. We'll be hanging out with you. Tina Nguyen, Pat the Designer, Jim Miller. Thanks for watching us.
I'm not really into sort of forgiveness, and that's sort of his ethos, right? Like he does hold grudges, but I think also if you're sort of willing to go and